don't think, no, it's not loving. We don't know what the movie is tonight. Welcome. We're almost ready to go. The letters tonight are these. The guests tonight are these, but you can't see them. You can only see Russell. Can you see Russell? Russell, stick your head over here a little. No, he doesn't want to. He will shortly. Harry, run in. Just say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
That's enough, Harry. Thank you. Louanne, do the same. First letter tonight is this. So you're going to run over? Just say hello.
Hello.
Hello. That one there.
This one? Hi.
That one there. No. Okay, you can go now. Thank you very much. First letter tonight. What's wrong with me? Is it my fault that my partners, every single one of them, has been unfaithful to me? Second letter tonight. How do I get my kids to speak to me again? Thank you for my coffee. Yeah, how do we get my kids to speak to me again? The last letter tonight, the significance of ANZAC traditions. Are they diminishing? Terrific lineup of guests. You'll see what Russell looks like in a minute. You know Russell. And we'll see you shortly. Don't go away. Sweat and Sour, starting right now.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Thank you for joining us tonight. You want to meet everybody first up, don't you? Well, a long-time friend of this show, but we haven't seen him for ages. But all of Perth knows him. So, Eastern Seaboard, he started in New South Wales before he came to Perth to read the news. Hello, Russell Goodrich.
Hello, young Gary.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad for a young fella.
Yeah, you can come back too. You called me young Gary. That's fine. Nice to see you here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time.
How long?
12 years
12
since you
years.
had me on. Yes.
Where have you been?
Hiding.
You loved the experience so much back then. It's taken 12 years to come back. Good to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
You read the letters?
I have, and I've made some notes.
Okay, I'm pleased. We'll come to those shortly. Hello, Louanne.
Hello.
How's the world of matchmaking?
The world of matchmaking is just fine.
Ooh.
Never a dull moment in the world of matchmaking.
Do lots of millionaires come and knock on your door and say, hey, I need some matchmaking?
Most definitely.
Most definitely. Girls, where do they go? Where do they look you up if they want a millionaire to wine and dine them?
Well, let's put it this way. We don't just deal with millionaires, and we certainly just don't deal with women that are looking for millionaires.
Oh, who do you deal with?
Well, we deal with people from all walks of life that actually want an exclusive experience. That sounds terrible, doesn't it?
No, it sounds great. I'm getting really excited here. An exclusive experience.
Okay, so, you know, their values are aligned to having a really decent relationship where they don't have to worry about being used and abused by somebody that's disingenuous.
That's lovely. That's terrific. All right. That's
so fascinating.
Does that entice you to want to sign up with Louanne? What do you mean, no? You're supposed to say yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes. We're all going to sign up tonight. Millionaire matchmaking. What's it called?
Oh, is it millionaire?
Yes, Perth's millionaire matchmaking.
But, you know, we talk about richness in terms of the soul. You can be...
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing anything as exciting as that.
Oh.
Just
Well, you
teaching
could. It doesn't take
kiddie.
much. I'll put you in touch with
That's
Louanne.
a hard one to follow.
Very easy. How's the dancing going?
It's been a little bit non-existent, but
Because?
I haven't done the kids' classes yet. So
You haven't taught me anything yet either.
They don't start until May, so I'm actually excited to get the kiddies back.
I don't know how to dance. H, can you dance?
Very poorly.
What does the blonde tell you?
I have flipper feet.
The feet's good.
No, good. Okay, what's happening? Directions.
Well, it's. I think that we'll see still flat rates. I don't think we'll see it increase until Christmas time. I still think we'll see rates still going to be flat for a while.
Early part of the year. All
Yeah,
right.
I think
Well,
we'll
see.
just got to keep moving forward. There is a bit of a lift in the market in Perth, which is good to see.
Oh, thank goodness. Dear Sweet and Sour, letter one, here we go. What is wrong with me? Is it my fault that all my partners, every single one of them, have been unfaithful to me? Where's the big oh from the panel? Oh. There you go. I've been married twice, and I swore back then I would never marry again, and I won't now. But I've had another 2 long-term partners since then. So at 46, I've recently broken up again, and for the same reason. I found my partner in bed, my bed, sleeping with another woman. Sounds like Goldilocks. Then there he was in my bed. Why does it keep happening? Do other women turn a blind eye to this behaviour from their partners and the whole world is sleeping around now? Or have I just been unlucky? Are all men programmed to be philanderers? Why do men sleep around? What could I be doing so wrong here? I'm still attractive. Do I risk putting myself out there again? Sandra of Essendon in Victoria has written to us. Anita, does every man want to sleep around on you?
No, not if they really love you. There's something, what is she doing wrong? You're not communicating with your partner. Men do not cheat unless they have to. So there's a reason why he's going elsewhere.
Why are you looking at that camera? You know which thing. That's your camera over there. Come on. There's a reason?
There's a reason why he's... Stop it. He's going elsewhere, okay? So that's what I think is if a man is really happy and you're really happy in your relationship, there's no need for him to go elsewhere. So something's lacking, and that's where you need to sit down with him and you need to talk. You need to talk to him about maybe what he is looking to get out of the relationship and what you're looking to get out of the relationship, and see if you actually have the same values.
It always comes down to talking.
Values.
What's this woman doing wrong though? Every single one of them, 4 of them.
Get rid of the bed. Get rid of the bed, it's not working for you.
And not your fault, honey. It's
he
the
might have been
appliance.
tired. He just might have, came home from work late and just fell asleep in a bed with another woman. That's
The cleaner.
That's a very
the cleaner
bad,
who was dusting the
very
other
bad
side
excuse.
of the bed.
Look, I think the only thing that's been consistent here, Sandra, is you. I think it could be maybe, as Anita said, try and do a little bit better market research, a bit more communication, speak a little bit more and have those values discussions, and just ask them, in future, will you be rooting around?
A blunt question, Russell. How do you deal with this particular situation? Do you think all men are philanderers?
No, I don't. And I don't
No.
think it's just men. But I think it's women as well. I think you need to include men and women. They all
We
play
have the
up. They
potential.
all play up. And it's not new because it goes back to Greek times, doesn't it? From years and years ago.
It does.
What you need to do is to spice up your life. Maybe you're just going after the wrong type of men, and absolutely go out there again. It's like getting back on your bike and going for a ride.
Yeah. Louanne, is it a question of getting back on your bike and riding away?
Okay.
What happens here?
What I'm seeing here is that when you have no faith in a relationship, you attract that to you. So your story that you're telling yourself becomes what your reality is. She has no faith in relationships. She expects people to be unfaithful.
Yep.
Guess what? We get
get
to
it.
live out what our thought processes are.
Self-fulfilling
If
prophecy.
all else fails, have sex with your partner. This will keep the relationship together. People aren't unhappy and they don't go elsewhere when they're getting fed properly at home. And the biggest reason relationships break down is because you stop being intimate and you stop having sex. So find a way back to your partner. If it's been, you don't have to just make love on birthdays and Christmas. There's other days to make love and there's other places to make love outside of the bedroom. So once you start giving your partner a reason to not want to go somewhere else, but stop telling yourself the stories that relationships aren't working for you.
Yeah, because you're just reinforcing the point. We asked online the question, are all men programmed to want to sleep around? And here's what our results came in with. Drum roll, 34% said yes, and 66%, the overwhelming majority, said no. Men are not all programmed to sleep around. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the alienation of kids. See you then. Don't go away. More of Sweet and Sour right now. 66%.
Getting in touch with Sweet and Sour is easy. Just head to sweetandsour.net.au to send us a letter. And while you're there, why not check out our past episodes? Plus, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And for a behind-the-scenes look at Sweet and Sour, check us out on Instagram.
And this week we're going to send all of our letter writers to the movies to see Berlin Syndrome. Who's seen that yet? I've read a review and it's fantastic. Thank you, Natalie Cameron. And that's going to be on the program next week or the week after. It's coming up shortly. She hasn't been here for ages either, Russell. So it'll be good to have Natalie here as well. Letter 2, it's called Daddy Distant. Dear Mitch and panellists, how do I get my kids to speak to me again? Slowly but surely, my ex-wife has poisoned them against me. My 2 kids are both beautiful and professionally qualified girls in their 20s now and haven't spoken to me in over 3 years. I am completely at a loss to know what I've done wrong. Apart from an acrimonious breakup with my ex-wife more than 10 years ago, I'd like to think that I've been a pretty good dad. I've sent birthday and Christmas gifts over the years and have not received a thank you in return. One of the girls still lives with their mum, but neither of them will take my calls. I blame my ex-wife because I can't see any other reason for this behaviour. Do the panellists have any suggestions on how I might reacquaint with my kids? It comes to us from Calvin of Mile End. I've been there in South Australia. We're going to Russell first up, sir.
Calvin, or at least Gary, thank you very much. And Calvin, let me tell you, it's very, very difficult. You've got a struggle, a big struggle ahead of you. It's offensive, it's evil, and it's certainly getting worse in Australia. Parental alienation is absolutely devastating to both mums and dads right across the nation. It's a systematic brainwashing and manipulation of children. The divorce rate is running at about 50%, and would you believe that there's about 900,000 children, it's estimated, across Australia that don't see one or other of their parents.
That's huge.
It's certainly deeply concerning when you look at, we haven't got the statistics here, but there's certainly some statistics from America that I just looked up. For sole custody, 63% of teen suicides, 70% of juveniles in state-operated institutions, 71% of high school dropouts, 75% of children in chemical abuse centres, 85% of those in prison, 85% of children who exhibit behavioural disorders, and 90% of homeless and runaway children. In Australia also, what happens is that I know that it's a dreadful thing and you can never condone violence, but there is one woman every week that is murdered, but there is also 6 men that commit suicide every day, and mainly because they don't see their children.
Awful.
One of the main problems is the fact that the family court is doesn't get enough funds. The family court needs to be recognised. It itself needs to recognise perjury. It needs to enforce its orders, and it needs to recognise parental alienation. Gary.
Good summarisation. Thank you. How might she reacquaint with her kids?
Okay. We've got a blame game going on here, and sometimes when you're blaming, you're blaming your ex. I'm sorry, but your girls are professionally qualified. They're qualified to understand if they want to have a relationship with you or not. If they were little, this would be a different thing. I think that you need to stop blaming somebody else and own your own shit and understand why these girls are not having a relationship with you. Maybe you need to go and ask them, because while you're giving them, their gifts and the cards, that's not what they need. What they need is your ownership to deal with what you have potentially done that's made them not want to have a relationship with you.
Wow.
I don't quite agree with that, Gary. I'm sorry to interrupt again, but when a child has been alienated from one parent for most of their young years, when they get older, they find it very difficult to turn back to that parent. Sorry.
Anita, come on in.
I was going to say, I've got goosebumps still from those statistics. You just need to keep doing what you're doing and push, because it could be the mother that's really not allowing the children to even receive the gifts. So it's maybe, I don't think it's anything he's done wrong. I think that those children are being poisoned by lies from the mother because of she's upset because of the breakup or whatever her issues are.
I've seen it happen, both from males and females, where they try and poison their kids.
Do not give up on your children, and you just keep doing everything that you can to try and get in contact with them, to send them what you want, but try and communicate with them, and keep those lines of communication open because I believe that it will get to a point where the girls will realise that what they've been fed by their mother is all lies, and they will come back to you, but you need to make sure that you're there open and ready.
H?
10 years, I would say bring in a third party, bring in an umpire, bring in someone else to try and mediate a conversation. And I think the key is no matter how small the conversation is, see if you can start one rolling with them. I think you need something to change.
Some hook to keep the conversation.
Whatever
or
you've been
start the
doing,
conversation.
whatever you've been doing hasn't been working. Even maybe that umpire needs to speak to your ex-wife as well. But you need to interrupt a pattern that's here. That's for sure, because you can see it's hurting it. Yep, that's all right. You're far
Gary,
right.
I was going to say,
Yep.
Calvin might be interested in a conference which is coming up on the Gold Coast. It's the International Conference for Men. I think it's the first one ever held in Australia.
Which you can
And
Google?
you can Google. It's icmi.info, and it's on between June 9th and 11th.
We surveyed you people online, and your say came in with these stats to this question. Related, do children ever owe a debt of gratitude to their parents? And the results were these. What do you reckon? Split almost 50-50.
Wow.
47% said yes, 53% said no. When we come back, we're going to talk about ANZAC Day. Don't go away. We're going to keep chatting after the break. See you soon.
I believe that people are good, truly, to the core.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Letter 3, here we go. Hi Sweet and Sour, I've been an ANZAC Day participant and supporter since my dad first took me to a parade more than 35 years ago. And this year I participated again, but I did notice the lower attendance since the centenary crowds in 2015. I've followed the news since ANZAC Day, and only 700 turned up at the actual Gallipoli service in Turkey. Having had a chat with my daughters and their friends, I was taken aback to hear them acknowledge the sacrifices of so many in the previous wars in which Australia participated, and at the same time have such a negative perspective on what they called the glorification of war and the myth-making hype surrounding the commemoration. One of the brightest girls of the group told me that most Australians are completely unaware of the real facts of the Gallipoli landing, now named ANZAC Cove. Aussies and New Zealanders made up just a small contingent of the many nationalities that stormed the beaches on April 25th, 1915. In many respects, it seems as if it's become our de facto Australia Day. Do our panellists see the significance of the ANZAC traditions diminishing too, or is it just a normal softening after the centenary? Jean of Wembley in WA writes, Harry, first to you, sir, did you go to the ANZAC commemoration?
I did. I went to the one in Victoria Park, and they do a fantastic celebration there, and it's great. I think the reason why Turkey was down is there's so much going on over there at the moment with terrorists and everything else. I think that's what softened it. My personal experience with going to the ceremony is that I wish Australia was like that every day. Everyone's courteous, everyone's polite. There is no phones up everywhere, people videoing everything, everyone stands quietly, and the reason why I go is for the fact that to honour the past soldiers, the present soldiers that we've got, and the future soldiers that we're going to have, so that we can live in the country that we live in and the way we live here. And I don't see the numbers are diminishing at all. I see them staying the same, if not slightly increasing.
Anita?
Yeah, look,
Has it played any part in your life at all?
Yeah, look, I definitely love. It's all days. So remember, it's ANZAC Day. We all take a moment throughout the day just to really think about what went on in all of our wars, what these soldiers did, that leaving their families and fighting for their country. The ones that are fighting now, and it's not just the Australian soldiers. It's any person who's actually gone to war and had to fight for their country. You have to think and go, wow, it's incredible. And even if you don't get to a service, it doesn't mean that you're not respecting or honouring the day. Yeah. It's even just taking a few moments just to sit down and just think about it and remember and respect those people that did fight for our country.
I think it's quite an astute perception that the kids say that they have a negative perspective on what they call the glorification of war. I think that's an appropriate perspective. It should be, war shouldn't be glorified. No, my readings of MacArthur and I've forgotten his name, John, our Australian, they all hated war. They all hated war and didn't want to go to war. But you do remember the sacrifice that a lot of our people made. We asked our audience, our people online, this question: should ANZAC Day be made our Australia Day? The results are these. 34% said yes and 66% said no. Yeah, it's a commemoration, not a celebration. I think that reflects it there. All right, Louanne?
Okay, well, ANZAC Day, for me, I had the, privilege or honour or whatever you say to travel to Turkey and stand in those very trenches and actually look and see that there was an absolute hopeless situation.
Hopeless? Awful. Mistake.
Awful.
Mistake by the British.
Oh my God. And so for me, ANZAC Day, every ANZAC Day, I always spend a moment actually remembering that. I don't think that, the support we have for ANZAC Day or the respect is dying, but I certainly think the pilgrimage to go to Gallipoli, I mean, that's a massive commitment. Of course, at a centenary, if you're ever going to do it and you're putting that on your bucket list, you're going to make it a special day and be part of something that, a lot of people have also done on that day. But certainly ANZAC Day is not losing its significance.
Yeah,
no,
it was General Sir John Monash I was thinking of, and he, together with General Sir John Metaxas, were the two that opposed Churchill's idea to go through the Dardanelles and cost so many lives, but they weren't listened to. But Monash excelled there and saved so many people, and that's why he became an Australian hero. Russell?
I used to compare the ANZAC Day parade way back in the 1970s for Channel 9. These days, I didn't get to a service this year, but I did get up at 5 o'clock and I turned the television on and I stood up when it was appropriate and sat down when it wasn't. Or when it was. No, when it was appropriate. But I'd just like to say I congratulate the state and federal governments on what they did in 2015 and put all those memorials to the ANZACs, including the one down at Albany, which is a fantastic thing, and you need to go and see it.
Yeah, that's exceptional. Do you like this letter or another letter to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies courtesy of Alon Treves? Which one do you like? This one?
Calvin.
Calvin, you liked letter 2, the alienated youngsters. Louanne, which one did you like?
Well, I liked letter 1 myself.
You liked What's Wrong With Me? It's my fault that partners are sleeping around on me, yes?
Yeah.
Let's see over here. Which one did you like?
I like letter 2.
You liked letter 2, which was also, what was his name? Calvin of Mile End. Harry?
Letter 1.
Letter 1?
Letter 1.
Letter 1. Okay. Oh, we've got a tie. No, we're going to go to letter 2, I think. What's that? Mile End, South Australia. How do I get my kids to speak to me again? A bit of a sob story. We'll send the glasses out there. You can prowl around and see how they're doing. We've got to disappear. Russell, terrific to have you back, sir.
Thank you very much. It's only been 12 years.
12 years? Well, we've got to make sure that it's not another 12 years before you come back. Are you happy to come back and see us again?
Oh, absolutely.
Shortly? Nice to have you here, sir. Louanne, what's the website address that we log on to?
Louanne Ward Matchmaking.
Louanne Ward Matchmaking, not necessarily just for millionaires.
But she'll probably get you a millionaire.
But will you get me a millionaire too?
Anything's possible.
Do you want a millionaire, Anita?
Oh, that would be lovely.
Do you know what?
It's not money. It's not about money.
And do you know how many women
We've got to
voted
go.
for men?
1 minute.
Sorry.
Quick. Say goodnight and
Women
say.
don't care about money. Good night.
Women don't care about money.
That's it.
H, good to have you here, sir.
If you do care about money, go to Facebook Mortgage Perth.
Good night, Australia. Thank you for having us, and thank you to our wonderful crew. See you next week. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.